I'm gonna do a magic spell right now. Let's see how this magic spell goes. How does it go? I can't remember. I don't know. So why are you watching this? It's labeled The Magicians. It's labeled Alice's Hero Earthworks Magic Book. And this video is only about props from television shows, specifically this prop I fantastically, through providence and fate, who knows, acquired. Alice's Hero Earthworks Magic Book from Season 5, Episode 9 of The Magicians. I'm a big fan of The Magicians. Luckily, I was able to acquire a few awesome props from the show. These props are currently in the hands of an actual fan. 10,000 years, a million years, a billion years, and a trillion years will come and go. And I'm still going to be the owner of these awesome props. I'm never going to let them go. Huge fan of the show, so I'm a fan of the magical aspects of the show. Collecting occult books and having supernatural experiences in my life has caused me to, seek out shows such as The Magicians. And when it came along in 2015, I knew I was a fan. First airing of the first episode, very sad to see it go. I hope they can have a spin-off, a movie, or at least a reunion show. Wouldn't that be cool? A reunion show of the cast members. I have some cool mementos, souvenirs, if you will, pieces of the actual show. But I really like the writing. I like how magic is used. I'm gonna do a magic spell right now. Let's see how this magic spell goes. How does it go? I can't remember. I don't know. But, the tutting, the hand movement tutting. Very cool. And I'm a fan of the books on the show. There's only a few key books on the show. We have the Fillory and Further books. Obviously, the Fillory book is the main book on the entire show. We have the Quest of the Seven Keys book. The Quest of the Seven Keys book, main book on the show. We have a Primer of Spirits. I would say most definitely a Primer of Spirits. This very book is the main book of Season 1, Episode 3. I talked about that in a previous episode. Check that video out. So I wanted to acquire more books from the show. I wanted to focus on books. I now am somehow magically, mystically, in the possession of what I know of a surety is a hero, one-of-a-kind copy of the Earthworks Magic Book, Alice's Hero Earthworks Magic Book from Season 5, Episode 9. There's a couple scenes where this book is shown and displayed. You first see it open, and Alice has it there on the table. It's one of the few books Zelda brought and gave to Alice and Katie to research during such devastating times that even the library is willing to take these amazingly dangerous books out of the poison room to fix a problem. At one point the moon was cracking and breaking. They got a moon problem. So they need to create a planet, create a moon. The Earthworks Magic Book can create land masses. It can create islands. And that is in the same realm of creating a planet. It's on a smaller scale, but it's still very powerful magic, which is why he was in the poison room. I'm going to show you this book. Let's take a look at it. Let's check it out. The binding is authentic leather that has intricate sewing on the spine. Very high detailed book. It is painted in multiple layers of different types of earth, specifically mud, which has dried to give it an old look, to make it look older than it is. So the Earthworks Magic Book, designed to create earth from scratch, actually has a lot of different types of earth itself on the very cover, which is very interesting. It's symbolic. The prop master who created it took a lot of time and effort. There's a lot of earth on the actual leather binding. A tiny detail I'm going to share with you. This book is supposedly from the Poison Room, but this book either actually was in the Poison Room, or the prop master took such great care and detail to add pieces of the Poison Room to the book itself. Because when I first opened it, there were a number of pieces of the Poison Room attached to the edge of the book. And one of them was blowing in the air. I recognized it immediately, what it was. See, I never knew what the falling stuff in the Poison Room was on the show. I would assume it was something artificial, but nope. I know exactly what it is, because multiple pieces of this falling stuff from the Poison Room were stuck to the book. These little white things, what are they? There are still pieces attached to the inside cover of the book. That white stuff that falls isn't artificial feathers. It isn't foam. It's natural. It's biological. It is little seedlings from a plant. What plant is it? It's a dandelion-type plant, but more robust. Holds together better than a dandelion seedling. It either comes from some plant of a field. I believe it's more of a field-type plant. Alice's Hero, Earthworks Magic Book from the Magicians. An amazing piece of my book collection. My book collection is growing every year. I have a huge selection of DeLoreans. I'm acquiring and building up more and more and more. I have a number of poltergeist-themed books because I have firsthand witnessed poltergeist activity. Pretty scary stuff, scary subject. But I have, and I probably own at least 10 books on poltergeists. I have at least 2 books by Raymond Bayless, and he was a poltergeist expert in his day. He specifically investigated California poltergeist incidents. My incidents did take place primarily in California. In the year 2010, there was one incident, and then I moved a couple places over, but in the same city. About 1 year later, in 2011, I moved into a haunted room with 2 extremely active poltergeist entities of intelligence. I'm not going to go into great detail because I have about 50 videos on this subject. 50, at least 50 videos on this subject, where I talk hours on end at great length on the subject. So I'm not going to bore regular viewers with information I've already mentioned 50 times. I'm here to show you this Earthworks Magic Book from the Magicians. This is the display case as it is right now. I guess I didn't focus too much on my Order of the Netherland Librarians banner, but I have the Order of the Netherland Librarians banner. How do I know it's the one? First of all, it has a certificate of authenticity, but you always want to look beyond that and match it up exactly in the scenes. And the creases on this order banner exactly matches not only Season 5, Episode 9, the same episode with the Earthworks Magic Book, but it is also in, I believe, Season 4, Episode 7. So 2 episodes prominently display this massive banner. It has a metal bar at the bottom to hold it down and weight it down. And the top originally had a wooden pole. And the way they hung it, something to the effect of 2 hooks. And they just plunked the wooden pole with the 2 hooks, which did damage the back of the banner during how they mounted it on the show. I mean, normally the back of a banner being damaged is a bad thing. But when you want a screen-used item, it's actually a good thing, because it proves it was used in the production. This is the Order of the Netherland Librarians banner from the Magicians. And in the same room as this, of course, was the Earthworks Magic Book. This is the book Alice Quinn uses as a reference, and this is the book Quentin Coldwater uses as a reference. So I'm really happy to have them side by side. There they are. It's a key piece of my collection. It's going to be in my collection forever. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this has been John Houston. Be seeing you.